All right. Ooh. Bum, 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 bum. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I haven't seen it. Didn't look at any of the chats yet, but it's 9:28. We could possibly get a fucking right at open. Just want to see what we get here. If we get a close below that green line. So one thing I did add, especially with backtesting, is that the like going against kind of what everything else, like the start of a new like actual flip or trend, is us closing on the opposite end of this line, right? So if it's green and we close on the opposite end, that's a possible sell. If it's red and we close on the opposite end, it's possible buy. And that usually that gives us like a pretty good first leg. Okay, so it's 9:30 open now, so this is a 9:30 candle. Just waiting to see what we get here. All right, yeah, we're probably not going to get anything here. Not yet, at least. Just waiting. Yeah, no. Still nothing yet. Although it kind of would have been a pretty good buy, because that would have been a pullback entry right at 9:30. I guess that could have been an option too, but kind of wanted to wait. I was preferring, so while this kind of plays out, right? Obviously when it trends, we can get at most times that first break on the opposite end of that line, we get like 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that could be a possibility for like, a retry. So we just wick data highs. Obviously gonna wait. Probably gonna wait till after 9:45. Yeah, we had PPI today. Trump speaks today also, so yeah, I wouldn't have taken this because the bands flipped red. I would prefer for them to stay green or when this prints for it to be green, but that wasn't the case. Pivot point up here. We could see something off of. I don't know. I mean, with our traditional 5 box, realistically, thank you for showing your thought process with us live with this strategy. Yeah, of course. I will say it takes some getting used to if you're not quick with knowing where buttons are, especially at like market open like that, because technically there were like 2 trades we could have taken so far right at market open. It would have been this pullback entry, so that first green box would have been an entry, and then obviously it ran, and then pullback entry, this second first green box here, or even the second one would have been another entry, right? So for me, it's like, and we're at a pivot point right now, which should be marked on this chart too, but it's not. There we go. I'm gonna delete this for now because I could just visualize data high and low. But so we're at a pivot point. Kind of don't want to take a buy here because again, this is possible area where we could reverse. But if we like create a new high and then retest, then I'd be more willing. And again, we still don't have the orb range either, so we have to wait for that too. But as of right now, like, I'll watch here, but just to give you guys some examples, because we're gonna wait till 45 anyways. Just to give some examples, right? A lot of times, like that first breakout on the opposite end of that line will give us like the beginning of that trend, and even if it doesn't, it still gives us one or two boxes, which is either a legitimate break even or a 50%, right? Two boxes is a 50% because if we have two contracts open, 50% at one box, and we move our stop loss up one box from being two boxes, so now it's 1 and 1. So now if we hit our stop loss after that first box, it's a break even, right? If we hit a second box, then now that stop loss is at our entry level, okay, and it's no longer break even. Now whatever we already secured is already profit, and then everything else is plus plus plus, right? Like even here, this would be a break even if we took this buy, because we took a buy, we would take a buy here off that retest. That first box would be our first TP. Then our stop loss would be below this box, and then we would get stopped out. And that would be the what's it called? The break even. The only time that we get like a loss is if it's like a green box and an instant red box right after that. Those are like legitimate losses, right? Like these are all wins here. This is a win. This is a win. Like something like this, if we for whatever reason took this right here, so this red box, green box, this would be a legitimate loss. But obviously compared to some of these moves, I mean, you know. And I know it's a little bit different than the suite that I have on the Discord, right? I am trying to make it a little bit more streamlined so there's not so much on the chart. But like right now, if we get this box down here, we'll be closing. Below. Right, and then so right now we're here. So we got a one tick lower fill. It should have been at 7.5, but we got it at 50. So there's TP1 right there. And then we move our stop up one box. Next box, now we're at break even more or less. If we get a third box, that's two boxes right there. If we get another box, right, so essentially trail by two boxes. So if we get this box print, then we move it up to here, right? And I always do by one tick. So if it's 5B, 5 box, each box is 5 points. Print another one. Print another one. What's my P&L at right now? 2,500. I don't want to go past 4,000 if I can help it. So this might actually be a good one and done day, honestly. Because if I could help not going past 4,500, that's 50%, which I can't have. One day can't be more than 50%. This is a crazy trade right now. I just took a screenshot of it. So now again, if the next green box that prints, we get stopped out. There we go. So this was technically this was our entry. No, entry was 097525, so average 50. It's right here. So about let me fix that. Let me see. Entry was 0925. And then TP was 84 or 48. So that was a monster trade, low-key. So about a 1 to 5.5. That was it right there. And that's it. I'm done. I mean, we're up $2,600 right there. Interesting stuff, man. Been going through your course learning so far. Do you have any videos on this stuff as well? I'm going to make more videos on this. Like, so this is an example. It's like I'm done trading, right? Because we just caught this. I'm done trading, right? But just I'm still going to go over like different scenarios and stuff like that. So like this was like that breakout that I was talking about, that first box that closes on the opposite end of this green trailing line, right? A lot of times that's the beginning of like these trends, okay? And then the retest entries are when we get a green box or a box against us that gets printed, and then the first box that goes back in our direction would be another entry, right? So this would be a legitimate loss, right? This would be our entry is here, printed a green box, that's our stop loss, right? If we decided to take this next retest entry, that would be a break even because we took one box and then our stop moves up one box and then we print green, right? So right now, we're only looking for sells. We're not looking for any buys, right? if we pull back and let's say this red line flattens out, we'll know more or less exactly where that following green box would actually close for us to get that breakout entry. Because notice here, because it's 5B traditional, right? When this green line was right here and we were up here, right? We knew that the following green box would close below this line. So that's where I put my sell stop. My sell stop was here. My stop loss was above here, one tick, right? So I do one tick each way. So one tick past the following box, one tick past the following box, right? Because there are times where it can print the box and that'll be the highest that it'll go, right? And then it'll revert, right? So it can save you from getting into a trade unnecessarily. Or even there's times where it's like it'll hit that full 5 points, but a new box won't print, right? Instead, it'll like, you'll just see the shaded, and then if it's not within 1 second, right, which is the reason why we have 1 second up here, right? If it wasn't 1 second, or if the box didn't print, but you saw price go past that point, that means that wick and that price point move happened quicker than 1 second, than within 1 second, so milliseconds, right? So because of that, right, I use that one tick, right? One tick is 0.25 of a point. So if I know every point or every box is 5 points, right? So like right here, I'm not taking this because we're not green, right? Take this, I would. Take this, maybe. Obviously, after a monster trade like this, I don't see why we would continue to trade, okay? Personally, but I want to go over stuff like that. So notice here how green wave or green lines, we printed a red box. If you would have taken that, it would have been a loss, right? So I would prefer to wait for all the lines to be red, and then us get a pullback entry. So something like this, or even this, because once this one closed, this line turned red. Okay. Now here, notice how the line flattens out, right? If we don't move any lower, this line will stay there, right? Notice here how once this line flattened out, if we didn't move any higher, and then essentially the line just stayed there, right? So we know, I guess it does move down. Never mind. So we know that this next green box could be a breakout entry, right? So it would be 5-0. So I'm not taking it, but I just want to show an example, right? Okay, so that's the entry there, and let's see how it would have played out for us. One tick, right? So let's say this is that entry because we saw that box print, right? Our entry is at 2.5. Now, when we watch it, it's either going to hit stop loss or it's going to give us one box and it'll be a break even, right? Okay, so that would have been a stop loss right there, right? Now, if these green lines continue and we then take another, or essentially print another green box, that could be another entry, okay? Which would be right there, literally the same exact level, right? And let's see. So we just would have gone entered here. Now let's see what happens. Okay, and the system itself, it's like you what's it called? Like it will have losses, right? But these losses are going to be 10 points versus wins that are 50, 60 points, right? Here, even if it's a break even, right? You just need one box in the right conditions. Okay, so that's 2 back-to-back losses, right? Entered again. Okay, so that's one box. So now that stop loss gets moved up. And you took 50% here. Let me see. I've never actually used that chart on the left you pulled up. Yeah, it's just Renko boxes. So this would be an example of a true break even, right? Now, this is the one that I would prefer personally to take if it does print, because now we have some lines popping over this cloud. So this would be the one I would personally prefer to take, is this following one right here, which again would be at 2.5. Stops would be one tick below here at 7.5. So this is the one I would prefer to take. These this first one I 100% would, right? Because that's the exact same thing we took here. But after that, I want to wait to see if we actually get the lines above, like some lines above this cloud, right? Like, just to give you an example, like notice this first one, straight shot, right? This one, straight shot. This one here, I mean, this is out of session, it's 7:45, so I don't really want to pay attention too much to that. So entered already, stops, or already took partials here, or partials was activated here. Stops are now at break even because we printed 2 boxes. So we took 50%, we're at break even. Now stop, I'll just put a line here. This is our stop loss, right? 1 tick below the box, so 7.5. The next box where we printed the box, right? So now either this red box prints and we get stopped in profit for a win, because remember we took 50%. This is the other 50% that we have trailing, or it continues higher and then we just trail, right? So this would be a winning trade. Shit. There we go. That would be a winning trade, right? And notice the difference between this one versus not this first one, but the second and the third one, right? The lines weren't necessarily up. Close below. And I know it's happening fast, right? Like, I'm just explaining stuff, so I'm not paying attention to everything else. But the moment that you start pulling back, you look for this following line. We printed 2 boxes, so we're at break even already on this one. This is our entry box, right? We're at break even. Where's that line? Here's that line. So this is that stop loss, that trailing that we have. So right now, this trailing stop loss is right here because we have 3 boxes printed, right? 4 boxes, we move up. We print a 5th box, we move it up. A 4th box, 6th box, we move it up, right? But we know that the following green, the very first green candle that prints is our stop loss, right? What's that? 7.25. So it should be 1 tick, right? So 2.5 right there. So we know that this next box printing is our stop loss. Boom. So now that's, if you took all of these, loss, loss, break even, win, win. So already back to including these 2 losses, right? We're already back to break even just within these trades, not including this one that we actually took at the open, and also not to mention, right, these that we missed, because this was right at 9:30, right? 9:30 opens, green box, enter, move, pulls back, green box. Even if you get this one, enter, move. Even this one here, 1 box, you take 50%. This is a break even up here. So already 1, 2, 3 big wins, 2 small wins. Similarly here, right? Same thing. What can we look for? We already know where the next 5 points is going to be. 80.25 right there. So that's that next box of that prints. Technically we're in. Stop loss is going to be below here. And then the same thing. So printed. So this is our stop loss here. Now we wait to see what what's it called? We wait to see if we print a second box and continue higher, or print a red box and we hit stop loss. So that's a loss, right? Again, I'm just showing you guys. I didn't take any of these trades. I only took this one, right? Just showing you guys the different models that you can take, or the different types of trades. Are you able to trade like this on PA Apex accounts? Yes, you can. There's no rule. There's no rule against it. You're just you're scalping basically, because you're not adding to any losing positions. You're taking partials, so you don't really have to worry about the drawdown, like the trailing drawdown, right? Another thing that I might add is that you can also filter your entries based off of this money ball down here, right? Obviously, I don't fully go with it. Sometimes I'll go against it. Like for example, this trade, the money ball was bullish. These two first trades, the money ball was bullish, right? So bye. Probably would have kept us out of this one. This would have been a loss. This would have been a break even. If we're only looking for sells, right? None of this. We're not taking any of this. This is back below. We get this win. We don't take this because we're not above that green line. Now we're above that green line. That closed. So this can be another possible entry there. Right? Close on the opposite end of the cloud. We have the green box. If we print one, that's 50% partials. And stops move up one box. At that point, making it a possible break-even trade. Obviously, open TP. I don't have a set TP. What's the indicator called with a new green line? That is Q Cloud trend with quant view. I don't know if it's on just the pro. I don't know if it's just on the elite plan or if it's on the pro plan too. I don't know. Actually, let me check. If you guys want the link to the quant view thing, so like all this stuff, it's in the description. But I'll check now. Let's see. And they also have a free 30-day trial. So, oh, excuse me. I'm trying to see the plans. Okay. Elite or pro. Trying to see where. So this ends up being a break even. I don't remember. If you have pro, does anybody in here have QuantView or like even whether the free trial or whatever? If you have pro, I believe it's okay. So this one gets moved up. If you have pro partial, so break even here. This is right now either a break even or a winner. If you have pro, can you guys let me know if you have it? It's called the Q Cloud Trend Trader. But yeah, you can trade like this on Apex PA accounts. I traded this exact strategy last night. It's on Elite. Okay. Yeah, Elite Cloud Trend Trader. Okay. So yeah, so it's only on Elite. At least you don't have to get ATS for it. ATS is expensive. I have it, but it's expensive. But yeah, I passed Apex accounts yesterday with CPI news, and then I got them flipped to funded. I just added them to what I already have. And then these are all linked. I think you're using Elite Cloud. Oh, I already read that. Whoops. Okay, so now we do have our orb range right now, so that can definitely help trading. My favorite entries are break and retest with this above like the or outside of the orb ranges. So like the green line, red line, the first 15-minute range. Do you have a link to your chart? Yeah, it's in the Discord. So if you go in my Discord, also link in bio, or in the description, I'm sorry. If you go in the Discord and then you go down to educational resources, it's a forum that's in there. It's the manual trading Q Chronos, right? I need to rename it, but it's essentially what I'm doing right now, right? And I'm adjusting it to get the best possible results for you guys, right? So every time there's an update, I let you guys know. But right now it has the most recent thing. But yeah, that's in the Discord. And it's also in the QuantView Discord. Okay, so whoops. So now now this is a winning trade. Let's see if we get a runner here. So obviously, again, the next red candle that prints, right, is stop loss. So wherever the next red candle prints, that level where it prints at and it closes is stopped. Our runner is stopped. Okay, now we're moving stop loss up. I can't move this. So stop loss is here. No, it's actually here because we just printed that green box. So now this is a winner plus 2 boxes. If it keeps going, we keep trailing, right? And one thing that I like is that like this is the 1 minute candle. So stops are here. So right now, right, 2 big wins that we didn't take, a large win, huge win that we did take, right? Loss, loss, break even, win, win, loss, break even, win so far. Stop. This red line is what the stop loss would be, right? So as of right now, we're up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 plus points, give or take, between 25 and 30, or 25, 35 points. This is recorded and live. All the live trading on YouTube instantly gets recorded to the channel, but I'm also recording the video just in case. Because I like to do like the TikTok videos and all that stuff for people to like be able to watch and stuff. It helps attract more people to like the Discord, which it's free. Everything I do is free, basically. The only thing that I essentially get, the only time I will get money from you guys is if you guys like get QuantView, have like an affiliate link, or if you get, you know, like an Apex or a Take Profit Trader account through my links. That's the only way that I make money from you guys. But it's not like I'm taking your money and then it's only based on what I do. It's like, no, I'm taking, you're paying money to something you already normally would pay to, right? I'm getting a small piece of it, but then I'm also trading the same things that you are, and I'm showing you guys how to do everything for free. So there's no extra cost. You get me? Every candle is 5 points no matter what. So it will only print if price reaches 5 points past 9,250. If it reaches 10 points past 920, I'm sorry, or 5 points, I'm sorry, then it'll print a red one, and that'll be our stops. So like right now, we have this entire move, right? We just got stopped in profit, so that's our trade right there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 points. Aside from the 35, 40 points, right? Because again, as we get stopped and break in profit. Similarly here, right? We got stopped in profit here. This was our entry candle, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 points. So this trade was 60 points. And again, when it comes to like pullbacks, personally, I don't feel as comfortable taking pullbacks that don't at least touch the line, right? Like notice how this one didn't touch, even though this is an entry candle right here. So that's that stop loss level. So similarly, right, this is technically a pullback entry. You guys can take these. It's up to you. I'm just not as comfortable taking them because I've seen sometimes that whenever it, you know, has that pullback and then instantly continues, sometimes it can, you know, we don't get as good quality setups or a good price. But yeah, every candle is 5 points. Whatever you set up here, so you notice how it says traditional 5, whatever that number is how many points each box is. So if I changed it to 10, then each box would be 10, and this would look very different, right? Like let's say I changed it to 10 for now. Right, so if I change this to 10, okay, this would still be an entry candle right here, or would it actually? Oh, I need to change the setting here. So if we're just going by the cloud, right? 930 right here, the 24, 850. This is all 850. So this is the first 930 candle, right? This is 20 points. This is 20. 10, 20, 30, 40 points, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 points. Okay. But it also means your stop loss is twice as big. Now, instead of a full loss being 10 points, it's 20 points. Okay. So I like 10 personally. That's actually where I started at, but I really enjoy 5 now, right? Like, so this is an example I was telling you about where it's like this, I don't feel comfortable taking these for that specific reason because we didn't, like, we were so far from these lines that we didn't touch. This one I maybe feel a little bit more comfortable taking, right? Just because, again, we actually did pull back to that line there. We did pull back to that line there, I'm sorry, and then reject it, right? So I'm more comfortable taking this over this, right? Notice how the space, I personally don't like that, right? I would prefer for it to happen like inside, especially when the lines or the cloud is so like spread out like that. Like I would prefer for it to be at least touching, or even, something like this where they're closed like that. I prefer that, especially if you have this line here. So I call out what I will call this from now on is the breakout line. Okay, so this is the breakout line right here. So this jagged line that kind of goes through that changes red, green, right? And this is the Q cloud, right? Which is these lines right here. So breakout line entry would be something like this. A Q cloud entry would be something like these here, right? Because this is a breakout line entry. This is a Q cloud entry, right? So essentially 2 entries, right? These two, this would be nothing because we didn't trade into the Q cloud. This one would be something because we traded into the Q cloud, right? So and again, there's so many entries that you get, like you won't get any FOMO because you know that there's going to be at least 3 or 4 of these, like exactly like this, right? A day. If I want to go back to yesterday, where's yesterday? Okay, so this is CPI, right? So it's 8:30. Okay, so this is 9:30 right here, right? Obviously nothing here because the Q cloud's green, we're going up, right? So these are no sells, right? 8:30 hits right here. Breakout line entry. This is the very first entry of the day. Right there. I do see that big candle, by the way. I'm about to go look at it now. I don't know what the fuck happened. But let's see. So we were in a buy, I think. And we would still be in that buy. So currently, stop loss would be right here. But notice even here, like if you look at the candles, like that stop loss wasn't hit, right? So we would have been stopped there. So I would have been a legitimate, I'm sorry. So like I said, because of the space, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking that, okay? 10 times out of 10, I probably wouldn't take it. Or 9 times out of 10, I probably wouldn't take it. Even if we took it, loss, win, right? And we're retesting, notice here, the orb range high. Yep, in the trade, it's a banger, just got stopped out, yeah. So it's like, it's easy to backtest too because you have an idea of like, okay, this is where I would have gone in, this is where I would have gone out, right? Whereas if I'm looking at these candles, it's kind of hard to tell, even on the 1 minute right now, which is what we're on, right? Like it's kind of hard to tell. It will also kind of take like, if you see nothing moving, right? You're like, okay, well, I don't feel as crazy as, seeing something like this or something wick out, right? So for me, it's like, it just makes it easier for me too. Also, like I do like this. It kind of takes my brain and my thinking out of it, right? So I'm more than happy trading this, like all the time. Especially if we get trades like that. I mean, that's 60 points, 10, 15, 20 points, 45, 40, Notice here, we don't take that because we have a red Q cloud. So what are we anticipating? We're either anticipating price going back up, the Q cloud turning green, and then us getting a Q cloud entry, or we're anticipating a breakout entry here, right? And what will we know? We know it's not going to be at 924 or 925, and we know it's not going to be at 919. It may be at 915, right? but we're not sure because this is still below that. So right now we're anticipating entry at 910, right? And if this changes, then we move it up 5 points. If this line gets above 915, right, and goes up to 917, 916, 918, that would be the breakout candle, right? But right now we don't take any of this because one, the Q cloud is red, we're below it, right? So none of these are taken. Like this is non-negotiable. This does not get taken, right? This, a move, this turning green, all these turning green, I'm sorry, you see this, and then a pullback, and then green candle, that's where you take it, right? But you don't take any of these. And that's non-negotiable. That's you're gonna get wrecked, I'm telling you. Right? So, and it's easy too, because you could just, like, let's say I want to do this, right? I could just put a sell stop here, my first entry or my first TP here, 5 points below. If this moves up, I move this up, right? And then I get entered on that stop loss or 10 points. But yeah, this was a good trade. This is a very good trade, actually. Is it just me or is it too dark in here? Hold up. Also, for anybody that goes to the gym, this is not a sponsorship, but Alani pre-workout is absolutely insane. It's so good. What's it called? So again, breakout entry here. Even if you miss this one, that 15. Remember how I told you it might come up? Even if you miss a 15, you take the 10 that we were originally looking for. This is the entry there. That was a stop loss. First box is a break even. Second box is a win. 3, 4, 5 boxes. This is a win for 5, 10, 15 points, 20 points. Because remember, it's the boxes plus 5 because you took partials at that first box, right? Can you share the graphic, this graphic on Discord? What do you mean? Oh, the graph on Discord? Yeah, I'll share this one too. It's literally the same thing though. But you guys, unless you have Elite, I don't think you'll have access to that breakout line. Oops. That was my automated stuff. Let me get rid of this. I don't want to fuck anything up. So notice here, no entry, even though it's a pullback, right? Look at the Q cloud. It's green. Also, the money ball is bullish too. What would I prefer? A breakout if we get it, right? I would prefer that. And notice how we did not get it. But yeah, I'll share this graph on Discord. Do not worry. Copy your chart, but doesn't have the breakout line whatsoever. That indicator. I'm ATS, so I should have it. Yeah, you should have it. It's the it's literally the or it might be that you don't have it clicked, like you don't have the checkbox. There's a checkbox for this cloud. You have to check it. See, so here, what am I looking for? I'm looking for now these lines to be red. I'm looking for a green box and then a opposing like retest. So green red. That red candle would be my entry. All the lines are red. So if we come down here, that would be an entry for me as a quote unquote retest. Right here. That would be willing to take. That would be the stop loss. Where is this red line? It's up here. So I'm just using that red line to kind of give you a visualize. Notice how we close the green. So now we're no longer looking for a sell there because what? This is red, or this is green, I'm sorry. And then this would be our entry, right? Which I doubt this would turn red by then. But what do we have here? We have our breakout line and we have this line. So what we could anticipate 5 points, which is 15, 20 right here. Wherever 20 is, right there, right? So we can anticipate a possible breakout here. If we get a green candle closure, that means that we're in. Stop loss 10 points, similarly, right? And then we just do the same exact thing we've been doing. Also, this is a day that Trump is speaking, right? So if you look right, we're consolidating technically, right? But we've had some really good moves. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins, 2 losses, and a break even. Two losses and 2 break evens. But yeah, if you copied the chart, it's it's probably a checkbox that you don't have checked, because I don't remember seeing this when I first loaded the chart. I will double check, but I'll let you know. Okay, so let's see if we get that candle closed. And notice here the top of that wick is 24.25, right? So that's the reason why this candle hasn't printed yet, because price hasn't gone that 5 points. So it'd have to be 24.20. I'm sorry, it was 24.25. Okay, so now partials taken, stops are now at a 1-to-1. So this is a break even, bare minimum break even, right? If we print another box, that's at break even. Now it's a 100% winning trade no matter what. If we get a red candle here, then we just get that small 5-point win for whatever it's worth in contracts. Okay, 2 boxes. So now we move it up more. And again, I always do the 1 tick rule. So your stop loss should be 1 tick past. So like that. So notice 3-0. Your stop loss should be at 29.75. So we're stopped out in profit here for 3 boxes. Okay, now if we get a green box off this, I won't take that, because again, look at the Q cloud. We're not touching it, right? And if it runs, it runs, you know. But personally, I don't want to take an unnecessary loss. If we get another red box and then a green box, that's different, right? Because now we're actually testing that level. Oh, we actually might get a breakout here too. See, so now you can literally do this. Whichever one hits first, basically. Okay, so the buy hit first. But we still have our breakout line down here. I might change it to just a black line, because I'm noticing that it blends in a little bit with that breakout line, or with the Q cloud. Okay, so remember, 1 box means it's a break-even trade, because we're taking 50% and we're moving our stop loss up 1. So our stop loss is now up here. If we get a 3rd box, so this is a break-even, so win, break-even. If we get a 3rd box, then that's a winning trade, because we have our partials that we took, and then we're at break-even with our stop loss. So now we're not losing anything even on our partials. When you have time later, can you post in your Discord the box that needs to be checked? Yeah, I got it. I'll send the like a screenshot of it. I need to update that, because there have been some changes that I made that I haven't updated yet. Just because I don't want to really update something without actually putting it to use and using it practically. Okay, so now we're at break even right here. So now this is a winning trade full on, because we took partials, right? Now the next red box should stop us out. Have there been times where we printed our red box and then printed a green box and our stop loss did not get hit? Yes, because price only went to the tick, right? So for example, price only went to 930 flat. It did not go to 29.75. So that red box printed, right? But then the following move, so if that happens, you can stay in it, right? Because at that point, 1 tick is not going to make a huge difference, right? If it didn't stop you out, leave it, okay? Because then you can see that thing come all the way back and print another green box, right? So right now we're at break even. This is an area where I'm just noticing now we should have been a little bit more careful with some, maybe not this buy, but this buy maybe more than likely, because we are at a pivot point. We're at a pivot level. So, and I should probably make this a little thicker too. We're at a pivot point, so that could keep price down, right? But we're already at break even, so it doesn't really matter. I would say if you don't have at least like 2 full boxes between entry and a level, I wouldn't take it personally. But yeah, I need to update a lot of the stuff in the Discord, because I keep going back and forth with like some people in the QuantView server and all that, and like we chop it up sometimes, and we talk about some stuff to try and make it better and make it easier. Like 10 box works, especially if you're a little bit slower with your fingers and like your hands and all that, or whatever platform you use, right? Okay, so this is another one right here. Stop is there. So that red line is our trailing stop currently. So this will also help us with Apex's trailing drawdown rule. At most, the most we're giving up is 15 points. At most, right? And if you're not over leveraged, it should not affect you, right? So like if you're on a 50K account, I would not use more than, I don't know, 10 micros. I would not use more than 10 micros if you're on a 50K on Apex. I'm using two like regular size contracts here, like I did this morning, because it's a 150K account and there's no trailing drawdown. It's end of day balance with take profit trader, right? And there's no daily loss limit either anymore. So right now, technically, I could have probably passed these take profit trader accounts just today alone if I kept trading. Because let's say, so that was like $1,800, probably a little bit more. Minus 400. If we did take both of these, break even. This was like plus 350, plus 400, plus 10, 20, 30, 40, plus 350, 400, minus 400. Break even, plus 410, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 700 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 500 plus 300, 400. So like all of these is like plus 400 or 600. This one was a monster that was plus like 1400. This was plus 800, 900. This one currently is up 2, 3, 4, 5, about 500 plus the 50%, which is about 150, 100. So this would be a 600 point trade at some point. Oh, we print another box, my bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So at minimum, this is plus $500 already. Even if we get stopped out, we're guaranteed plus $500. And we've had a couple of these. And now notice here where, let's say we do create a high here and we pull back. Notice how we'll have that orb height. Oh, yeah, we moving. So we'd currently be up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $850 on this trade right now. Current, like live. I just don't want to get close to like the excuse me, another one here. We're still trailing. So this could keep going, right? Like we don't get stopped out unless we see a red candle. So those times where you see like let's go to, like this was last night, I think, on this same account. This was last night, right? I took a buy here, right? That's the partials. Or I'm sorry, this one happened like quick, so I like both my contracts got taken out in profit before I can. So this was like plus 600. Took a buy here with this green candle, partials, right? And then I closed full here. Took a buy here. Notice not on this one, but this one. 1, 2, and then I just closed full there because I essentially reached, one, it was getting late, and I reached like what I wanted to get for that point in time, right? So we just printed a new candle. So stop, or actually not a new candle yet, but once we print this new candle, then we're back more. So remember, with one regular contract, each box is $100. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're up $1,100 right now on one contract and one trade. And this is guaranteed. At least 900 of it is guaranteed. Oh, we printed another box, so now we're here. So again, if the red box doesn't print, we're still in it. Okay? This is a pretty fire day, I'm not gonna lie. And again, we still have our breakout line down here, so if we get, even if we get, if once we get stopped out, or if we get stopped out here, so we got stopped out, if we see a following candle, we're not taking that because we're not, we're not touching. We essentially are overexpanded, right? I would prefer to see maybe another red candle and then a green box after that, right? And it's easy when you know the boxes because it's always full points, right? So it's always 930, 935, 940, 945, 950, 955, right? So you know where your entries are going to be. Even on the breakouts, right? Like we saw the breakout line here. We knew that our entry, whether it was here or here or here or here, was going to be 920, right? Where did this candle close? 920, because it's 5 points. Each box is 5 points, like 5 full points. Right, so we didn't close, or we didn't, actually touch. So I probably would not have taken this, but if you did take it, you'd already be partials and stops to break even, right? So, and you can change the risk management however you want. You get me? Like if you want to do like hold till 2 contracts and that's your partial, right? But still trail your stop loss, that's fine, right? If you trail 1 box means you're taking half a loss instead of a break even, right? 2 boxes means that you're taking 50%. And then you're essentially making an extra $100, which can make a difference in the long term. But at the same time, right, personally, especially with a trailing drawdown, I would prefer to have like, what's it called? Like I'd prefer for my equity curve to be like this, right? Not like this. Because when it's like this, right, you have one bad day and it goes, right? And then you have to a lot more to recover. But when you're like this, or even like this, just quick little ta 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 ta, like a step ladder, right? I would prefer an equity curve like that than like this, personally. And then if you took this trade, you would have just gotten stopped out there in profit, or it would have been a profitable trade, but based off of what you took out, right? What time is it? Yeah, it's 10:30, right? So like we were basically, I was done by, we were done by 9:40. We literally took the one of the first trades. But yeah, excuse me. That's really all there is to it, guys. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna actually make the adjustments that I need to like this and send all that stuff and the rules and all that because some of it did get updated. The Renko box size, so this 5 is up to you guys. If you feel more comfortable with 4 or 7 or 10, I would prefer whole numbers, right? If you feel comfortable with any other number, stick with that, but the system stays the same, right? But obviously there's going to be variances in outcome because you're using different data sets, okay? So again, I would just Make sure that you're doing it based off of what you're willing to risk, essentially. All right. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. I appreciate you for watching. Please, please, please like, subscribe. Do what you got to do. If you want access to the QuantView stuff, that's in the description. They have a 30-day free trial, so you literally don't have to pay anything at all, and you can have access to all of this for 30 days. The prop firms that I use are Tradeify straight to funding. I use Take Profit Trader, and I use Apex. Apex is my favorite because I could one day pass them on CPI, like I did with my current PA accounts from yesterday. I bought them the day before, passed them with CPI, traded them last night with automation. They're up 250 each. Okay, so again, it's just compounding little at a time, right? You don't need to make $30,000 on your first payout. 5,000, 15, it'll add up, bro. Like even 250 on 10 accounts is $5,000 in a day. Nobody here making $5,000 in a day, like at a regular job. So you should be more than happy with 250 on an account. Have you tested the new indicator with different box sizes? What new indicator? Kale, yeah, the left chart layout will be in the Discord, which you can get access to in the description. It's free. I'm going to update everything in there as well. Red green line, 5 works best in my opinion. 4, so I run 4 box on my overnight, and I run 5 box on the manual during the day. Just because I would prefer a 10-point stop than a 20-point stop, personally. But if you want to do 10, you can do 10. If you want to do 15, you can do 15. The system stays the same. You're just going to have probably different outcomes, right? Will you have more runners that run for longer? Yes, but you will also miss out on more profits because it takes 30 points on a 15 box, a 30-point pullback on a 15 box to print 1 red candle after printing a green candle, right? So just think of that. Like, keep that in mind. I think anything smaller than 5, if you're manually trading, is too small. The only time I think smaller than 5 is okay is in like if you decide to trade Asia for whatever reason. Plus 1750 for the day using 1NQ. Love how easy the mechanical system is. Fuck yeah. Yeah, bro. That's the reason why I'm trying to make it as like consistent as possible, as easy as possible, right? Like I'm showing you guys all these different examples, which ones I would take, which ones I wouldn't take. Again, I'll probably change this breakout line to black or something, or a different color, just so it doesn't, blend in with the Q cloud. I'll send the layout in here. Remember, if you don't have QuantView Elite, you will not be able to have this on your chart, but they do have a 30-day trial, okay? The link to that is in the description. It's an affiliate code if you guys want to help out. Again, it's up to you, or you could just go straight to their website. I really don't care, right? I'm here to try and make stuff easy for you, show you stuff that obviously works, show you it working, right? I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm not here to sell you a subscription for the Discord. All of that is free. The YouTube course is free. This is free. The Discord is free. And I'm on that shit every day. Standing by for the updated layout. This looks awesome. Yeah, I'm going to send it probably. I'll send it now, actually. Yeah, let me do this. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so because I just have, if I open it up, I kind of want to make sure that my private information on here isn't showing. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so I'm gonna save the layout right now. Sharing on, copy link, and then I'm gonna send it in. I'm gonna send it in both QuantView and my Discord, but I'm gonna send it in hard testing got acutely automated issues. Okay, so I'm gonna send it. Actually, I'm gonna send an update. So I'm gonna do second version of layout what I was using today. Watch the YouTube recording for explanation on different entry models. MLD ELS. There we go. Couldn't fucking spell models. Okay, so there's a link. So I just sent the link. I'm gonna pin this. How do I pin this shit? Pin. Can someone pin? I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna just say, can someone pin it? Can someone pin it, please? Okay, there we go. Okay. But yeah, so I just sent the layout in the quant view. I'm going to literally send the same exact thing in my Discord if you're in that and not in the quant view, or you don't have access to the quant view. So manual trading. So here we go. There we go. I'm going to tag everyone in it. Everyone. Okay, and then I can't even pin it in here. Or I'm just dumb. Oh, pin message. There we go. Second version of layout what I was using today. Watch the YouTube recording for explanation. Okay. This will be recorded and be on YouTube. Yeah, so like again, realistically, if I get on and that first trade that we had is my first trade of the day, like I'm done. Like I don't see any reason to trade more personally. Thank you, man. Of course. But yeah, anybody have any questions about anything at all? Guys, if you did, for whatever reason, or somehow, or if you did make money along with me with this system, if you're in the Discord, I would appreciate it if you posted it in the in either the testimonials or the profits page. You can also like mark out the specific forum so other people can look at it if they need to, so I know what you're talking about. And yeah, I would appreciate it. Like I said, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications. I do send something in my Discord about the YouTube live. I don't like sending in the quant view because I don't want it to seem like I'm promoting my stuff. I mean, I don't have anything to sell, so it's not like I'm trying to sell people something through their platform. You know, I bring people to their platform, but you know, I don't know how some people will view it. So, you know, just turn on the notifications so that you guys can get when I'm on. If you're not in the Discord, like you don't need to join the Discord, but if you are not and you want to know when I trade live, just turn on notifications. And yeah, I'll probably do a video on the CPI thing on how to pass those Apex accounts also, which I did yesterday. Someone tried it on PPI today. 2 people got it through DM. One of them said it worked. The other one didn't because he didn't have a PT on Tradeovate, like for when to close out, when to profit. So like basically shot up in profit, like past the profit goal, like 2 or 3, but then the trailing drawdown caught up with him because he didn't have it there. Like I don't know if he was trying to manually close it or what. I don't know, but but yeah, that's basically it. You know, and nobody has any other questions about anything before we hop off. Just want to make sure I get to everybody if possible. Okay. Nope, no questions. All right, that's fine then. I'll gonna hop off for the day. Like I said, I'll do The recording will be on YouTube. Just go through the live section on YouTube on my channel. If you want to rewatch anything, if you guys want like the YouTube course, that's also there. That's a different, that's like a price action way of trading that's separate from this. I'm assuming a lot of people, especially newer traders, will like this way more, right? But yeah, you know, it's just there for everybody. I'm trying to give you guys all the information that you need, and then you guys decide, you know, which route you want to take. But realistically, the course is good to help you understand price action, timing, levels, things like that, structure, right? Which can filter out possibly some of these trades that you would probably lose, but instead, because you saw what was happening structure-wise, you were like, I'm going to stay out of this one, and I'm going to take this one, right? So it could be beneficial both ways. All right, but yeah, that's going to be it for me. I know I've said that like 18 times already, but for real, that's it for me. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys, today's Thursday? Today's Thursday. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, all right? All right, everybody, have a good day.